Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Yuan 7 on the Mysterious JG. We seem to be making progress as far as going to all the places that are on the map of this game. For indeed, if we zoom out, we've now been to more than half of the locations. These two over here are DLC. This one appears to be fairly extensive DLC. Excuse me, or at least it appears to be more than one fight. I think here is just a boss fight. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teleport places left that we haven't been to yet. I've done a little bit of reading, just in Wikipedia, not like a huge amount of research into... And yeah, this game would appear to be set around the big battle that leads to the fall of Wang Mang. So I'll be curious to see just how much of that the story gets to. But I think the Battle of Kunyang was the kind of the Waterloo of Wang Mang's faction before he was defeated, and but it hasn't really built up to that, has it? It's just been like there's a rebel army and the Imperial army. This is the first big battle they're going to have, and I'd had this sense that the Rebel Army was supposed to be kind of like, you know, Star Wars style Rebel Army, like undermanned, and the Empire's invincible, and then we build up to this huge victory. I guess that's what's happening, but I don't know, I haven't got the sense that there's like a Death Star that if we beat it we automatically win. I don't know, but at any rate, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, you can't count this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. I guess we're at the halfway point as far as have we explored all these checkpoints. So never mind. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself thinking that we're closing in on the end of this game. I kept hearing that this is not a particularly long game. So there might be a good bit left more to go than I realized. But it does feel like as far as area to traverse, I can see how... I don't know what's going on up here and how much we do here. Like Mount Lujin, Mount Shang, these ended up just being dungeon, like not a whole lot going on. We weren't going back and forth doing side quests, for example. But speaking of side quests, we can now return to Yusui and find Ziadan. So I believe, and this is something, I mentioned it in video descriptions. I don't know, some people read those, some people don't. But yeah, all the stuff with Liu Zhui, Liu Yan, and Liu Xuan. That's all the game, like, kind of playing around and taking some limited license with actual history. There was an emperor who was crowned. Liu Yan was the big hero that everybody was behind, fighting the Empire. He may have gotten... Oh, actually, I read a really interesting story about a woman rebel whose son was unjustly put to death by one of Wang Mang's minister, so she led a rebellion. She came off really badass. But yeah, Liu Yan, as far as like, I read these old history things, and I know that they wrote history to favor the nobility. So it's like, yeah, you know, was he really the guy who was in there doing all the fighting? Maybe not. But Liu Yan was the guy who of the Liu family, who were the family who were overthrown as the rulers. He was the one who was really, like, if you're like a Game of Thrones nerd, he would be like, and now I'm blanking on this stupid Game of Thrones reference I wanted to make. They had the Targaryens, and they were like a bunch of shitty Targaryens. But then there was one Prince Valyar, or like, there was one prince from the Targaryens who's like, came across as this totally sweet, badass dude who was like, kind to people and would travel dressed as a commoner to learn the concerns of the common people, and was Prince Rhaegar, I guess he was called. But then, like, you know, his father was an evil weirdo, and like, you know, his His whole family were all fucking each other, and blah blah blah. But yeah, he's from the noble family, but he's like the paragon of virtue. In history, this is the guy who's held up as being like super great dude. But there's people within the faction who don't want him being in charge because they think he's too incorruptible, and so instead they put forward Liu Xuan, who could be like weak and feeble and will be a puppet of the people pulling the strings behind the scenes. But he's eventually overthrown because he's just fucking terrible, and Liu Zhui comes in. But Liu Yan is killed as part of some kind of intrigue involving coming to the aid of one of his own subordinates who'd been accused of treachery, and then he gets pulled in and gets killed as well as a subordinate, which is essentially what's happening. And I believe that is the story that is now developing if we choose to return to base, reform our ranks. So this is all optional, but it's actually as interesting to me as the main story. So I guess if you are, it's like, is China going to come in and censor my LP? My LP wouldn't be available in China anyway, would it? Mainland China? I don't really have an interest in getting involved in an argument with anyone about whether Taiwan is part of China or not. But like, is it a separate country or not? But yeah, I mean, you are a Han Chinese cultural background if you live in Taiwan, unless you're part of the actual original Taiwanese indigenous population, which you can read about. They didn't come out of that whole Chinese Civil War thing very well either, because they basically got turned into a underclass in their own homeland. But that's a different story. But yeah, like, if you are from Taiwan or from mainland China and you know the basics of your own history, you probably already know the stuff that's part of the side quest. It's probably something that you have the vaguest knowledge of, but unless you're a history buff, you don't know in detail, but it's there. The fantasy part is our stuff with the clockwork. So I gotta say, overall, I'm kind of into the notion that, like, we've got this fantasy storyline set against a historical background where you can do side quests that dive into the history, but the main quest is the weird fantasy bullshit, which I guess is how the Assassin's Creed games work a bit, except I haven't played all that many of them, and the ones I've played, the history is not that particularly well done regardless. I guess but if you want to get into a lot of history, it involves reading a bunch of stuff as opposed to living a bunch of stuff. Like, you don't do side quests that involve the historical figures, or you do a little bit of that, but mostly you can read journal entries that give you a lot of background stuff. So we will teleport back and do this side quest, is what I'm saying, and belaboring the hell out of it. Foxy Quinn. For a minute I thought that said Foxy Quinn, and I was like, oh, she sounds pretty hot. Han Sword, Han Solo's cousin. It may surprise you to know that Han Solo even has a cousin, because if you've watched the Han Solo wow, the Han Solo pick, it really does kind of work. The Han Solo standalone movie, it turns out Han Solo's name is Solo because someone asked him, who are your people? And he said, I don't have people. And he said, oh, so you're Solo, which is dumb as hell. But that is where the name Han Solo came from, because as Red Letter Media would point out, nothing can just stand alone. Everything has to have a fucking canon explanation in some shitty standalone movie. So I'm guessing we're gonna find out that Liu Jin, I wonder if I'm getting the names right here. Controls feel a little sluggish, and I'm wondering if to restart the machine to get my recording setup working. I'm wondering if that's a problem. Liu Zhui, not Liu Jin. Liu Zhui. It's Liu Yan. Excuse me. Liu Yan is the one I'd be worried about. There's only 2 of 3 bio things to read about him. I'm thinking the third one might be, like, you know, a scholar of later times left this poem about Liu Yan, because I think he's about to die. Buy something or beat it. Oh, here's a new side quest, I guess.
竟然活着呀，挺有一套的嘛。
Oh wow, we never came back and talked to him, did we?
该不会是捡来打算卖给我的？
I'm not clockwork, motherfucker.
怎么半年过去，墨家聚集了一群无理的小子。
Crowded.
哎呦，竟能说话，机关做的可真精良啊！算是意外的收获吧。
Anyway, you can have it for free. We don't want
为
it.
了李军之事而来。嗯，李军
，Huh? Okay.
你们从哪儿拿到的？
And how come there's no animation of you handing it to me? Why does it just
Oh,
appear in my hand? That is apparently a really difficult animation to do. Like Mass Effect also has a lot of shots of someone reaching off screen to hand something to someone, and cutting to the other person reaching off screen to take it from them.
真是服了他们。老张，
Bunch of hacks, hack frauds. I haven't been watching Red Letter Mini recently. I don't know why I keep referencing it.
你究竟是什么人？
Yeah, what's your deal?
我话先说在前头，
You don't want to know
接
me.
下来说出口的每件事情，你们就当耳边风便行。
As a matter of fact, you probably shouldn't bother with the side quest. It won't affect anything.
做晚辈的，自己终得有个底。
Oh, it's like you're gonna be your dad or something.
受教了。
Okay, well, I'd like to have been able to read that, but they put it on a white background.
我也曾经是个满腔热血的墨者，
Now I'm the laziest most on
天
Mars.
下与水火。就是后来遇上了些事情，看破了。
什么事？
So much sure.
遇水出狱，我便想这姑娘大概是商墨门人。
I thought that said shampoo
在
because I'm
手
kind of
里
an
里
idiot.
见到你们替百姓治病，确实是墨者胸怀。
A clockwork heart.
又从高阳一起安然脱身，也算是证明了机关术的本事。
晚辈学艺不精。
Yeah, we're just not going to be able to read anything she says.
你以商墨为荣，
Or anything anyone says while she's on camera.
商墨与李军并无二致。
Diluted coin, okay.
义子当前，却忘情义，成了墨者，反倒失了人格。
You deserve to
老
die.
丈何出此言
？What's your deal?
？10多年前，我亲眼见着李军打着荡平乱世的旗子，滥杀无
Well, they are Wang Mang's army, and he's kind of a jerk.
另一边，崔氏
Like I said, I did a little reading on the history of the period, and
手刃同门。
he wasn't like he didn't really
身为墨者，
do a lot of good.
该当有不能退却的底线。至少我相信，留情与否，都是能选择的。
Anyway, here's a scroll.
或许你能懂这个道理。
I'm here to tell you now, it's never mother son.
大寨里救
You
得了
better
的
learn
东
it
西，
fast. You
全
better
都收
learn
好
it
了。
young, 'cause
送吧。
someday
老丈
never
为何这么
comes.
做？你大可以把它们全毁了，甚至卖了。
Yeah, and what are they? Because JG's like not paying attention.
我也是选择留情的人，如此而已。
So there's something he was ordered to destroy, which he didn't think deserved to be destroyed. So now we can return to the camp. Alright, so new side quests here. So Jia told you he left everything he scavenged from Shangmo camp in a stash there. Return to Shangmo base and search for it. Okay, we get experience and some stuff. Where are the opponents? Oh, never mind. I thought there was a side quest to be done here. Or there's just a quest we haven't started yet. That's a long way. Long way sounds like a character from Dynasty Warriors or this game. That's a Cao way. So what did I see here that made me come back? I thought oh god, I'm losing my mind. Or I think every time I sit down and do a session for this game, because sometimes I only do 2 videos in a sit down, if I'm just trying to keep a week's worth of uploads going, but don't really have time to really get cozy with the game for a long time, and I'm just forgetting how everything works. But I thought there was something to be done here for one of these story quests. Battle is over. Bid farewell to General Wenshu and head through the Jianghe Pass to Kunyang. I mean, that's the main story. I get that. But I thought we had more stuff to do here. We've got this is the Ding Dong Meds quest. Scheme revealed. You hope General Boshang will survive this. They're treating this quest like it's over. Something, maybe, oh God, maybe it was just the actual shrine that you save at that I was seeing its indicator and thinking it represented a quest marker. But if there is anything new to do, you would think it would be here. Because this is where they're getting ready to crown the new emperor, and they've got the place all locked up. I'm not seeing a lot to do, so yeah, we've wasted half a video on this, other than the fact that we did get a new side quest. And maybe that's what I saw. I saw that side quest marker and wrongly assumed it had something to do with whichever Liu. I cannot keep them straight. Buon Sui or whoever. And annoyingly, there's no teleport stone in town. I'd have to run out of town in one direction or the other to actually warp to a closer... I keep thinking this game is going to have... I believe I was using the run trigger that would have been my run trigger in Lightning Returns, because I was playing that the other night. Does this game even have a run trigger? I feel like every time I try to run, I just yeah, I don't think you, I think you're in kind of an always quasi run. Oh, this is one of those. Press lightly to walk. Okay. He's never really dashing around. At least I've got my sense of how fast you should move based on how fast a video game character could move in real life. If I was moving everywhere as fast as he was, I'd get winded pretty quickly, but I'm pretty sure that's the one we want. It's yeah. Return to the camp. Shangmo, the Shangmo camp, I think, was Shangmo base. Mount Shang, yeah. Pretty sure the right way is over here. Because Mount Lujin took us to a different place. That's basically two big bases that we've been to in the story, but the one where we first got Hong is the one that we want to go to. Ancient Kingdom of Shu. An ancient empire once stood in the Shu area 10,000 years ago, said to have developed the... Never mind. That's not the same Shu from Dynasty Warriors, by the way. The Dynasty Warriors Kingdom of Shu, which is known by most historians as Shu Han, was... named after the one that entry that we didn't get to read was about, I think. Okay. So we do want to go this way, because this is where they're going to stop giving us information. So never mind, we can't go that way exactly. Where am I supposed to go? One of these directions is the path to that dungeon, and one of them is the path away, so... Okay, here we go, this is it. This is it. Be hard pressed to name this video later, since I spent the entire video getting nothing accomplished. Call it Return to Camp, but don't know, maybe this is a fairly quick quest and we'll immediately get what we came for. With the word we will get what we came for. Well, the enemies have repopulated, so it won't be that simple. Still guys to fight here, or is that it? That's it. Okay, well the enemies are... Unless we have like a new battle to fight, the enemies are pretty weak now, because we've gone through several plot points since these were the current all-powerful bad guy warriors. Okay, so we got some little extra for that. Looks like maybe we will complete this quest in this video. That'll be nice, because it did feel like it took me quite a while to get around to getting started on this quest. Well, it depends. This thing looks like it's close, but there might be a big, long, winding path to get up there. Stealth mechanics. Unable to use in prison. Look at all those goodies we captured. Apparently somebody was still fighting. Against non-gigantic boss type enemies, this thing is actually really good. Would you get back here, you little fucker? Because it doesn't seem to care how many times you hit it. Is it just designed to lure you into all this combat at once? Guys, he surprised me, alright. I don't know if we ever got that frog guy. That Navy frog man. I was hoping to find him and get him with in prison. There he is. Okay. Continue the attack. He doesn't attack you, he just absorbs shitloads of damage. Unless he attacks you once he's cornered only. Alright, more stuff has spawned apparently. That's annoying. Now how do I get it to come into this? I don't. I screwed it up. Well. So it avoided that, but it did get I did manage to defeat it. I got a Vermilion Jade, which is, I don't know, I'm going to go out and suggest that's probably a fairly high-end drop for this zone. And I got a lot of money for it. Because these guys are dropping like 5 Xuan each, and that guy dropped 1,000. So 200 of these guys to get the same money, so. Various Eastern mythologies have these little, like, slippery, evasive, treasure-hoarding monsters in their mythology, you know, so, like, the Kappa in, the red Kappa in particular in, Neo, well, Neo doesn't have red Kappas. I guess the DLC did. Anyway, the Kappas in Neo are, like, regular old green Kappas give you a lot of loots, but they try to run. Red Kappas are nasty little, they will hurt you. Ah.
回来过一次。
他早就料想到我们会回头找他。
He knew we'd come back.
还有，他提起了10多年前，肯定是离谱之事。
我也是如此猜想，但海父杀了同门，我却从未听闻。
或许他留下的东西能给我们解答。
Oh. Are we gonna find out? Is this gonna be one of those Romeo and Juliet deals? My family has wronged your family? Well, I'll tell you what. It looks like we're very close to getting to the next point in this subquest, and it also looks like we're close to the end of the video. So maybe those two things can segue together into a nice, fascinating cliffhanger. So when we come back next time, it looks like we will, if we don't finish this quest, we'll at least advance it, and it seems like we're probably going to finish it. But we'll find out next time on the Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll tune in as we find out more about... I mean, are Taishi, Zhao, and Hong supposed to be in love? I don't think so. I think they're just like, they knew each other as kids and they've met again, and there's not a lot of dialogue to suggest that. I guess you tend to jump to those conclusions because it's a video game. But, yeah, like, I'd like to think that over the course of the story we'll find out a little bit more about their backgrounds, but, this is all side quest content. I guess you don't need to know a damn thing about any of them to finish the game. See you guys next time.